Maturing is realizing Chapter 2 was actually not bad. I remember looking back at Chapter 2 a few years ago and saying, man, that sucked. However, something changed. Chemistry of my brain mushed and mashed into something brand new. I actually loved Chapter 2. And no, this change in heart is not because of nostalgia. In fact, for this entire video, I will not be using nostalgia as a bias as to why Chapter 2 is the GOAT. Instead, I'll be using facts and pros and cons to rate each season and make an overall conclusion about Chapter 2 in comparison to the other chapters of Fortnite. Without further ado, let's jump out the battle bus of Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 1. Point of view, the Fortnite black hole has created massive anticipation across the world, and a new Fortnite island is finally here. Now at first glance, this is already extremely exciting. Players have begged for months about getting a new map, and voila, served fresh. It was a new horizon. New animations, graphics, and design, new mobility such as swimming in a boat, new forms of the battle pass and XP grinding, a restart to the loot pool, the fishing mechanic, and honestly my favorite addition, a secret 1 in a million mythic goldfish item. Already, this entire chapter earns a 10 out of 10. I love the map and design, except for the fact that this season was the longest season of all time. I did the first half, didn't I? This season lasted about 4 months. The worst part is that each of these 4 months didn't exactly have a lot of updates. Players were left with no other choice than to create their own content, such as the famous awakening of fashion shows and legitimately spending days upon days of fishing for the mythic goldfish. Because of this inconvenience, I rate the season a 6 out of 10. It was enjoyable, but it got boring fast. At this point, you're probably wondering, how could Chapter 2 possibly be good with a start like this? Well, trust me, it gets better, and as we move through each season, you'll be convinced that all other chapters don't stand a chance against Chapter 2. Anyways, Chapter 2 Season 2 rolls around in late February, and we're blessed with a ridiculous amount of content. In fact, Fortnite read up on our frustration with Season 1 and granted us 5 new POIs, the introduction of mythic weapons, mythic bosses, vaults, helicopters, a whole new battle pass, and so much content. Now before we praise and appreciate this perfect season, I need to bring notice to its one flaw, its length. Similar to Season 1, Season 2 was as long, just short by 4 days. However, this flaw isn't ever mentioned when people are asked about the season. In fact, I personally never remember the season feeling so long. That's because Fortnite took a big step in the right direction. They flavored each update with tons more content than Season 1 did. Overall, this season was so perfect for its lovable spy theme, enjoyable gameplay, and its revolutionary status to all other chapters and seasons of Fortnite. Season 2 solved the overpopulation hot drop issue, best exemplified by tilted towers through the dispersion of mythics in different corners of the map, which recruited the entire map into action. The use of mythics and the introduction to NPCs proves this season's fundamental and authentic ranking in Fortnite. It gets a solid and justifiable 10 out of 10. Another 10 out of 10 season was Chapter 2 Season 3. Point of view, it's summertime and the entire map has flooded. This is something we've never seen before in Fortnite, and till this day, this season holds its own spot for having such a unique and authentic theme and game style. Loot and gameplay wise, this season was revolutionary. It brought the beloved yet controversial charged shotgun, food such as cabbage, corn, bananas, and peppers, fire themed weapons, and the most impactful, cars. Without a lot of these items and mechanics, Fortnite wouldn't be the same. In other words, you can slowly see how important Chapter 2 was to the rest of Fortnite. Fortnite Chapter 1 was awesome, but a lot of the appeal is simply nostalgia. Yes, it was the basis to the game, and it brought the fundamental weapons and mechanics of the game, but Chapter 2 proved that there was more creativity available. In comparison to all other chapters, there was clearly more diversity and themeful seasons in Chapter 2. Anyways, overall, Season 3's amazing battle pass, unique game style, and loot puts it at another 10 out of 10 banger. Let's just pretend, however, that the IO guard spawnings didn't exist. Chapter 2 Season 4. A lot of people think of this season as an entire advertisement, which it sort of was, but I think it was very memorable and exciting. Whether or not you even followed Marvel, this season was spectacular. This season probably had the most mythics Fortnite's ever had in one season. Fortnite constantly pushed out new mythics every update, and it was just a lot of content being released. In fact, the most memorable was the humongous biome and POI thrown onto the map. This was an insanely unique part of the map because of its elevation, biome, and POI. Everything about the season was so perfect. The new mythics, new released fish, beautiful battle pass, and never before seen collaboration and theme across all of the gaming industry. Another 10 out of 10. So far, 3 seasons in a row have been so awesome. With their own styles, revolutionary statuses, and interesting content, Chapter 2 already stands as one of the best chapters of all time. But it only gets better from here with Chapter 2 Season 5. Before we praise this season for its aesthetic and game-changing mechanics, we need to address the elephant in the room. the loss of the perfect battle pass layout. 3 seasons in a row of intricate battle passes end their streak and life when season 5 arrives. However, I must praise season 5 for its great battle pass in terms of content. I mean, the skins and emotes were awesome. More importantly, I venerate this season for its incredibly vital status to all of Fortnite. Introduced some of the most basic and necessary mechanics to the future of Fortnite. Starting off with NPCs. I can't help but boast about this incredible update. NPCs open the gates to an in-game currency, which is gold. More on that in just a second. Lore development and recruitment. Now about gold. This has become a normality in modern day Fortnite. We use gold all the time to purchase items in game, hire NPCs, and modder weapons. Speaking of gold, the way you would acquire gold is through the new bounty boards, which is also always used in Fortnite today. Exotic weapons were introduced, more on that in chapter 4, and sand was a cool mechanic throughout the season. This is another amazing season, rated at a 9 out of 10. Now warning, the following content is totally controversial. That's because it's everyone's least favorite season, chapter 2, season 6.
Ew! Dude! What the f?
Now listen, I get why people hated this season. The loot pool was difficult to understand, the crafting system wasn't everyone's favorite, and the loot itself was pretty dookie. I agree with some of this to an extent. I think I'm one of the few people to say this. Don't come knocking down my door, by the way. But I loved chapter 2, season 6. Now hear me out, okay? First, the actual appearance and theme was perfect. I love the autumn-like colors introduced to the center of the map. It was refreshing and different. Speaking of refreshing, the launch of a crafting system was a valid attempt. I think Fortnite needs new mechanics to keep gameplay interesting, and the crafting system basically made Fortnite a rags to riches mode. You had to work your way to god tier loot rather than luck-based loot by opening like 1,000 chests. The primal theme, including the innovative release of animals and bows, made gameplay feel brand new and enjoyable. I just wish mechanics and features more than just the animals remained through the rest of Fortnite, but a lot of the community disliked this attempt of a season. I rate it an 8 out of 10 for creativity. Here we are at one of the final seasons, chapter 2, season 7. This season was themed after aliens, which once again is quite refreshing and unique. I enjoyed the season a lot, and that's primarily because of the interesting loot pool. Almost every week, a new weapon would come out that was like no other. The railgun, my personal favorite, the recon expert, pulse rifle, the ray guns, the proper fire. Oh my god, these updates were awesome. You can't forget the UFOs that could kidnap you at any time, or you could hijack it and fly it around with your squad. There was a limited time mothership as well, which was a cool mini game that would ultimately grant you legendary loot if you completed it successfully. This made for some distinctive gameplay compared to all other chapters and seasons, and this season easily takes a 9 out of 10. So far, ever since chapter 2, season 2, there have been constant W's being released. Each season has its own unbeatable appeal and enjoyability, but the next and final season of chapter 2 breaks this streak. Chapter 2, Season 8. Honestly, did not like this season for multiple reasons. I felt the other seasons had a lot of refreshing gameplay, but this season did the complete opposite. There wasn't too much new content out on the first day of the season, and a lot of the content being produced during each update was mostly reused, or at least bland in my opinion. I didn't like the feel of the gameplay because of the use of zombies and all that Q Queen stuff. It was just not enjoyable, and it got boring real quick. This season, I rate it a 5 out of 10. I hate to end the tier list on a bad note, but at least we're done with it. Now we must begin our conclusion on Chapter 2. Chapter 2 is perfect for its completely diverse content, unbeatable updates, fundamental aspects, and overall, just the fun behind it all. Fortnite's other chapters have also been amazing. I mean, Chapter 3 was awesome for its ever-changing zero build mode and movement changes. However, that's actually the most fundamental aspect of Chapter 3. All other content's kind of like negligible. Same for all the other chapters. Something about Chapter 2 just catches my eye. Perhaps it's the quarantine era, which I know I said I wouldn't use nostalgic bias, but listen, I ain't blinded by nostalgia. Or it's the fact that Chapter 2 was actually long compared to all the recent chapters coming out that are just 1 year long. All I know is that this chapter was revolutionary and enjoyable. So far, Chapter 5 has been the most fun I've had in a while, and I've been playing Fortnite much more because of its enjoyability. Perhaps Chapter 5 will have a similar appeal and peak as Chapter 2 did. Who knows? Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, check out the next video on screen right now, comment down below what your thoughts are about Chapter 2, and everybody, have a great one. Peace out.